Hello guys, DJ Aaron here. Today we are going to do a little bit of a lesson in using Mac and PC in a studio setup. Now I do my show on Tuesdays and Fridays. Now some of you might wonder, why do I use the computers that I use? Well, when you want a little more power to broadcast, you're going to want to choose something that has a dedicated line in, and it does really well. Right here, when I go to the next clip, because I'm editing this as I go along, right here we got a 2007, mid-2007, MacBook Pro, which is a 17-inch. This Mac had Snow Leopard on it, and it got upgraded to Mavericks. And it is a nice computer, let me tell you. I have not had any issues with it since I've put Mavericks on it. However, I did have problems with it when I had Snow Leopard on it. Needless to say that this thing was fucked up when it had Snow Leopard on it. Everything wasn't running right. Different permissions were way too locked down, etc. So everything had to be changed. Not that I liked it, but it had to be changed. A complete reformat, wipe, and now we have Mavericks. Over here we have my Toshiba Satellite laptop, which is running Windows 10. This runs the audio only stream for the show. The reason why it runs the audio only stream is because it's, you want to give something a lightweight task. And needless to say, the one computer that is a little bit faster, you want to give the heavy tasks. And the one that you want to use for just audio only, you want to give it the lightweight tasks, which this does really well as an audio only machine. You don't really have to do much other than just plug the cable in, like so, set up your audio, and then you're off to the races, pretty much. So we got that set up. Now, how I got this set up is the Mac has its own audio feeding into its own line in from the mixer source right here. And then I got the amplifier, or the mixer's output feed, running into the back of the amplifier into the CD input. Then I got the audio only feed running into the tape out of the mixer, or not the mixer, but the amplifier, running into the mic in on this laptop. Well, the mic in works the same way as a line in, but it's a combo jack. So, while this one is doing a video stream and the audio recording, this one is running the audio only stream. Now, how do these two computers work together? Well, they work together as, like two separate computers, but they work together as a team. One computer does the video streaming and the main mix audio. The other one does the main mix audio or the secondary, or let me back that up. One runs the main mix audio to the video stream, which is going to the mixer's line out. This one is running the feed off the amplifier as a secondary mix and going into the audio only. Everyone's hearing the same mix. It's just feeding off, different mixes differently. So, you have one computer that's doing one mix, and then you have another computer doing another mix. So, the video stream is hearing the cleaner mix, which I would actually say the cleaner mix because the Mac does have a cleaner audio signal than the Windows laptop over here. The Windows laptop doesn't have to be cleaned up very much. It is primarily feeding off the same stream, but it's being cleaned up through the amplifier's processing and then going straight into the laptop. So both computers work very well in unison. I do have FMLE on this laptop if I were to do road shows. I don't do very many of them because I just don't do a whole lot of road shows, to tell you the truth. But I do have FMLE on here if I do decide to do a couple of road shows. Now, the same software is also used on the Macintosh. Adobe released the FMLE software for Windows and Mac. So you get the best of both worlds. Not only you get the best of both worlds, you pretty much got a package deal out of both operating systems as far as features go. I choose a Mac solely for the I choose a Mac solely for the productivity of the machine. It doesn't mean that I'll stop using Windows, and it doesn't mean that I am going to stop using Mac either. I like both systems pretty much equally, and they're both used very equally, I would have to say, because I use a combination of both Windows and Mac, as you guys could probably see. I don't use just one operating system. Well, I do as a daily driver, but for if I want to do a video and I don't have time to edit it on a Mac, I'll go ahead and edit it on the Windows machine. And how does this benefit my live streaming audio or my live streaming show? Well, look at the screen real estate that I have compared to this 15-inch laptop over here. I can have quite a few windows open on the screen, plus I could have the second monitor going as well. And when you guys are especially doing productivity stuff, you kind of want a computer that has a very good canvas of size. You don't want to have to go for, okay, is this all you get out of a screen kind of thing? They do have 17-inch laptops for Windows, but that is very rarely seen. Now, back in the Mac days, a 17-inch laptop, or MacBook, as they call it in the Mac world, but it's still a laptop by today's standards. But for 17-inch, you get more screen. You get more pixels per inch than you do with a 15-inch. Now, yes, you have 16 by 9 wide, but you can watch, let's just say you can watch a DVD on a 17-inch screen, and it would technically outperform this Windows computer. It would outperform this computer right here as far as graphics go. I mean, you know, if you're going to watch a DVD and not game on this thing, well, sure, it's gonna outperform any Windows laptop to date. But, you know, I do not want flame wars on this video, so I do use these equally. Like I said, I do use these equally. I do like Windows. I do like Mac OS. I do like Android. I like everything, pretty much. So it is not hard to please a person. Now back to what I was saying about the audio on the Mac. The audio quality is pretty good. The audio quality is pretty clear. When you think about it, it's pretty on par with high definition audio. You know, when you do audio on a Windows machine, yeah, it's high definition audio to a point, but it isn't as crisp and clean as you think. You know, on a Windows PC, you have to EQ it, you have to do all these different processes and all that stuff, and it gets a little frustrating after a while because you want to try and get the cleanest sound you can get on a Windows machine, but it never 100% gets there. And the reason why is the people who make these sound cards don't always produce the cleanest audio. Which brings me back to the Mac. I am going to get the cleanest audio out of this thing because there is good audio chipset in this thing. It is remarkably awesome. I was playing back a recording of the show that I did in Butt Broadcasting Tool, which I do have a version of that on this machine. I actually use it for recording. I think the actual quality is remarkable. It is clear. You can hear the highs, you can hear the lows. And that's why it's remarkable. I mean, you're going to get clean audio off of a Mac. Now, I'm not knocking Windows for its audio quality. I mean, there are some PCs out there that do have very good audio quality. The Mac just dances circles around this Toshiba laptop that I have. So, in a way, I'm going to get cleaner audio. And that is one of the reasons why I moved to a Mac also. Now, my ending thoughts on this is people might think that I am a Mac fanboy. I'm not a Mac fanboy. I use the operating system because it is a tool and it's basically used for productivity. You know, it doesn't matter what operating system you use, just as long as it makes you happy, just as long as it works for you. It pretty much works for me to a plus. I mean, this is the first time I've had a Mac in a long time, and you know, since 2013 I had a Power Mac G5 that died because of BGA failure, and you know, I'm very glad to have a Mac again. I mean, I'm not at all knocking Windows. I mean, I love the Microsoft operating system. I love, you know, how they implement stuff into Windows. But on a Mac, it's just simpler and easier. I could have, let's just say, a browser window open. I could have a bunch of software open, and I'm never going to use a whole lot of RAM. And the reason for this, much like Windows, Mac OS X compresses memory, so you don't use all your memory, or you don't use a lot of your memory just on one program. Now, which brings me to my point. Chrome is a resource-hungry browser, but in Mac OS, it does one thing better than it does in Windows. It doesn't eat up resources or processes. It doesn't eat up RAM like it does in Windows. It doesn't eat up CPU very much like it does in Windows. Some things just work. You know, when you want them to work, you know, it's perfect. And only when you don't have something that works properly, sometimes, you know, Windows can be a pain in the ass, and sometimes it will be. You know, Wi-Fi will go on the fritz, or what have you. Mac OS X Mavericks works well right out of the box. I didn't have to worry about, okay, is the Wi-Fi going to kick my ass again or whatever. It just works. Works right out of the box. You don't have to worry about drivers, etc. It just works right out of the box. And that is what I like about a certain OS. That works. For some things, Windows does work right out of the box. Other things, however, you have to install and pray to God that it works. And pray to God that, you know, by golly, it doesn't crash your fucking shit. But Macs just work. You know, like, it just works. You know, sometimes you could spend money on a Windows PC and have it work for you and it be golden. You could spend money on a Macintosh and it will work for you for, I don't know, they say the norm for a laptop is 5 to 7 years. Well, this MacBook is 8 years old, and it is still running perfectly. It's running one of the latest OSs. This is Mavericks, but the other two of the latest OSs is Yosemite and El Capitan, but I'm not running El Capitan. I rather run Mavericks because, you know, it's almost the only OS these days that you could get that supports these MacBooks. And even if they are supported for, I don't know, however long they're supported for, you'll have to upgrade to the latest and greatest operating system anyways. And these MacBooks are supported for Yosemite and El Capitan. So, you know, to bring an old MacBook back to life is probably something that, you know, you kind of have to do and kind of have to take into heart, because, you know, if you try and bring an old Windows PC back from the dead, throw Windows 10 on it, it ain't gonna work. You know, you have to have the up-to-date hardware. You have to have the up-to-date software. You have to have up-to-date drivers, etc. and make it work properly to where is OS X, you know, even the newest OSs work right out of the box. You don't have to worry about, okay, drivers and all that good stuff. You know, you don't have to worry about drivers. All you have to worry about is installing your applications. Boom, done. You're ready to go. Everything is compatible. Chrome is in support for Mavericks and Yosemite and Mavericks, Yosemite, and El Capitan for a few more years. You know, to where is let's just say Snow Leopard, your shit's going to be out of support and you're going to be left behind pretty much. And, you know, by far it does work properly. Skype is a little bit buggy, but then again, you know, it will crash sometimes after a call. I just hit force quit and, you know, reopen Skype and it's back on its merry way again. So, you know, the only program or the only application that I've actually ever had that was buggy, well, two programs that I ever had that was ever buggy is QuickTime and Skype. Those are the only two that are a bit buggy. If you do screen capture in QuickTime, it's going to crash. It's going to lock up. That is why you don't do screen capture in QuickTime. So like I said, in closing, you know, it doesn't matter what you choose, just as long as you're happy with it. You know, I'm happy with both my computers, and I plan to use them for ever long that I can use them for. The Windows machine, however, may not have many years. It may last for about 3 or 4 years. This thing is built like a fucking tank. It will last me for, I don't know, 10, 12, maybe 20 years. You know, these laptops are built like a tank. They're made out of solid aluminum. They're built like a freaking tank. So, anyways, guys, that is it for this video. Instead of using a piece of plastic crap, use something that's made out of something that's better and a little bit more rugged. Anyways, guys, that is it for this video. Peace out and practice and enjoy. I hope I didn't offend any Windows users out there, because I do use Windows every once in a while, you know, just to edit videos, etc. Same with the Mac. I'll use it to edit videos, etc. So anyways, guys, that is it for this video. Peace out and practice and enjoy.